Hey, welcome to the Mashcast. Where's my camera? Welcome to the Mashcast episode. Who cares? I'm Kenny, and this Thanksgiving week in the U.S., I don't know when Canadian Thanksgiving is, but it's not this week. But U.S. Thanksgiving is this week, and as always, joined by my good friends here. Charlie, how are you?
We have a lot of Canadian viewers. What'd you bring up?
I mean, yeah, I'm just trying to be thanks-clusive, okay? And make sure that we cover all of our bases with anyone who might celebrate Thanksgiving of any different kind. Okay? It's important, I don't know when Canadian Thanksgiving is, but I respect that it exists.
Does
Billy,
it?
how are you?
We have
I don't even know
viewers?
what it's about.
I just know Boxing Day.
Yeah.
We have viewers?
We
That's
always
the
have
real
one.
question.
Billy, how are you?
I'm fine.
Can you tell me what Canadian Thanksgiving is about?
It's probably a similar thing to the U.S. Thanksgiving
Okay.
to, give thanks for the harvest. But I think it's in September, early to mid-September, I believe. It could be in October, but it's in one of those 2 months. It's sometime between the months of September and August of the next year.
Okay. So we don't really know what it is, when it
I'm pretty
is,
sure
what's
it's
it
in
about.
September.
Okay.
And it would be about the same sort of thing. Just sort of thanks for not
Thanking
dying.
the Vikings? Leif Erikson?
Giving thanks for not dying in the
Hold on.
preceding year.
Is Leif Erikson, which I only know from SpongeBob, but is Leif Erikson involved in Canadian lore?
I thought he was the one who discovered Canada, or some.
Well,
I could be completely bullshitting this, but
is that why
that's
the
what I
flag
thought.
has the maple leaf on it?
No,
I don't.
the flag
No,
has
I
a
don't.
maple leaf because they have
I
a lot
don't
of
think
maple
so.
trees in Canada.
He's the one who brought over the maple syrup.
We got a great shit going. We got a good energy. This is what happens when you don't do the show for a month or however long it's been. Charlie, you were the one who gathered us together today. You said, let's all gather around and we're going to give thanks on the Mashcast.
Yeah.
But so what, I've got stuff prepared to talk about today, Charlie, but I know you're itching. You're like, Mashcast. So what do we got today?
Yeah, that's me, antsy.
That's kind of energy you have, yeah.
Okay, I guess I'll just blow the lid off the hot takes right now.
Uh-oh, here we go. All right.
I played Halo Infinite. It's good. We should play Halo Infinite. It's a good game.
It's a free-to-play game, Charlie, but not exactly in my case. It require quite the investment for me to be able to play that game.
You could probably run it. It's pretty optimized.
No, I think it locks you. From what I understand, it locks you out if you don't have a graphics card, like a 900 series or something like that.
Oh, dang.
That's like the minimum. And even then, with
And
all
all
the
it-
variations, it'll lock you out.
You have a pretty new CPU that might have an onboard video card that could play it.
I'm gonna run Halo Infinite on an onboard video card off a CPU.
Your integrated CPU, the integrated Intel GPUs aren't half bad. I mean, they're nothing they're not super good. They're not as good as a discrete card, but they're not half bad from what I remember.
Just get Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and you can stream it over the cloud.
Okay, sure.
And then you'll be good.
That'll work real well in a twitchy FPS. Yeah.
Hey, I mean, for what I've seen so far, you'll probably be fine.
I don't.
Because it's the start of the game, so there's a bunch of people who don't know what they're doing playing right now.
There's the workaround of Ashley's got a better graphics card than me. I don't know. She got maybe a 1080, but I'm not going to swap that out. I'll just play it on her computer. I'll move all my equipment, my microphone, and my mixer, and I'll move that all over to the other desk, and then I'll play Halo there. I don't think I'm.
That sounds worth it.
But,
I mean,
but so, yeah.
it's
how's it?
it's it's not like, I mean, I haven't played Halo in like a decade, so I can't really comment on what's different. It just feels like Halo 3 ODST era, which is the last time I played a Halo. It's just fun, you know. There's nothing complicated. There's no battle royale stuff happening. There's a bunch of different modes, but it's really just, you know, like your capture the point or get a certain number of team kills or that sort of thing. The maps are good. They have a lot of routes to take. Weapons are all diverse and interesting. It's no bugs as far as I can tell, even though it's, I guess, technically early access or beta or whatever right now.
Is the
I've
the
only had a
multiplayer still beta, or is it full release yet?
no. It's so this is just the multiplayer that's free to play. The single
Yeah.
player comes out beginning of
Or-
December, something
yeah.
like that. But this is making me interested in maybe getting that, just because if they focus so much on like the grapple hook and other new stuff like that, the grapple hook's so good. They took Doom and took some good gameplay advice from Eternal.
Yeah, I've heard that the single player is kind of open world, like a Far Cry would be, or those just the Ubisoft brand stuff. So yeah, the idea of a Halo in that seems pretty interesting to me, but I haven't
Yeah,
really played Halo since the original one.
I'm sure it's wouldn't feel that different. Yeah, the it just has me excited. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's just a good time. It's nothing complicated. By default, your mic is muted, so you don't have to hear any bullshit like you would expect from people playing Halo. Um,
Anti-Halo
yeah.
sentiments in here. All right.
If you're concerned at all about being bad at an FPS like I was, even with the free to play multiplayer, there's a really good like story-ish tutorial that takes you through the controls and it's got like a weapon range to test out all the different weapons. Um, just a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff.
And
It's
it's gonna
Halo.
have a
I don't know.
yeah, and with Halo, you're basically that's never gonna be a dry multiplayer. You're never gonna log in and not be able to find a lobby with people in it. That's gonna be a long tail to that game.
Yeah, and you can make custom games. I haven't really dug into that yet, so there's plenty of. I think there's even like a mode where if it just wanted to be us against a bunch of bots to practice first, you can do that. Yeah, all it has. I guess the weirdest thing to me is like maybe Halo's done this already. I don't know, but before each match starts, you got like an intro of each a Spartan being like standing up or doing a salute or like a stance pose kind of thing.
Mm.
It's doesn't feel like Halo at all. It's very bizarre in a funny way. It's a good way to start a match, I think. It's just
Well,
some weird stuff like that.
because it's free to
Like,
play, and so the monetization is going to be from character customization, they got to show it off for everyone to get
yeah.
the FOMO, build that up.
And so the free to play aspects, like I'm not going to buy the battle pass. I don't really care about that, but pretty much it's just cosmetics of like your different armor or special decals or colors locked behind battle pass experience. But they give you a decent amount of customization if you're just doing free to play. So you can
There,
make metal arms or legs or
there's a
whatever
bunch of
color you want.
stuff to unlock too by playing with and without.
That that is
Maybe.
the one problem I have, I guess, is like XP is really slow
Okay.
because I don't have the battle pass. It's like 1,000 for the first level, and I only get like 50 a match or something like that right now. So it's gonna take a while. That's level one. I have not gained a level yet.
If you
So
get the battle pass, how much does that increase it by?
I think there's a version that gives you like 25 levels or something like that, but I don't actually know like the enhancement rate. I really don't care about that. I just want to play a good FPS.
Mm. Now, you said that there's no battle royale, but that's inevitable, right?
I could see it, certainly. I don't think like the biggest player count I've seen is 24, so that would be kind of weird. They'd have to make a entirely new mode for that, but it sounds like this is going to be a game they're going to keep for the entire life of the Series X or whatever, so they'll probably add something like that in eventually, I guess.
Billy, have you been playing Halo at all?
I messed around with the tutorial a bit and was like, "Yeah, I've never played a Halo game before. Neat. I like the robot suits. That's cool."
Cool. So are you going to get the single player then, Charlie, when that comes out?
I'm thinking I'm going to try just getting Game Pass first on PC and trying it out. Because there's like a $1 for a 3-month deal right now or something like that. So test the waters first.
You know a guy who can tell you the best deal on Game Pass.
I think I do.
That's that guy. It's not me. Not anymore.
Gotcha.
We'll figure it out.
Well, hey, this is a perfect segue because talking about great deals, we talked about how this is Thanksgiving week, and I'm already entrenched in Black Friday deals.
Okay.
I hate, back in the day, right? Whenever there's a Steam sale or something, I'd be buying up everything, whether or not I'm playing it ever. My Steam library is comprehensive and untouched. But last night, as I was, prepping to go to bed, I'm like looking, I checked Cheap Ass Gamer, and he's like, "Oh, GameStop's got these Switch games," and we're talking like first party Switch games for like $26, $27, and I'm like, "Well, dude, I never play." Or I'm looking and I'm like, "Well, I haven't played Kirby Star Allies yet, and I've always wanted to buy Breath of the Wild on Switch to have it, but I don't really want physical and I don't want to deal with shipping from GameStop right now." And so I just turned my phone off and I went to bed. And then I woke up this morning and I saw a follow-up tweet from him that said that this deal is also for digital. So like without even thinking, I got my wallet, I got my Switch. I'm like, all right. So I got Breath of the Wild on my Switch and I have Kirby Star Allies, which at 27, dude, for a Nintendo game like that, $27 is a steal. So I got those games digitally. I've been making a big move to digital on my Switch now. I'm really getting sick and tired of switching the game cartridges out. So
I guess I don't trust Nintendo enough to go all digital on them yet.
Yeah, but I think you have an older Switch, Kenny, so you'll be fine.
why wouldn't I be fine?
Well, if Nintendo decides to, turn off digital games,
Oh,
you'll be okay.
I don't know. In theory, I would hope that the Switch kind of is it for Nintendo, and not that like this is their last console they ever make, but that future Switches exist in the same marketplace as a current Switch
Oh,
or
of course it
whatever.
will.
Yeah,
Nintendo's-
no, it won't. They want you to buy Super Mario World again, but I don't know. Have you guys bought any like crazy good deals yet?
I got Deathloop for like $25.
Yeah, I saw that was really cheap. Have you played it yet?
It's coming in tomorrow, I think.
Gotcha.
So
I wanted to get a Robo Armageddon, but I was like, I'll put it off. It'll be on sale this week too. It's not on sale this week.
This isn't exactly a like a Black Friday deal, but the other day, just on a whim, I went to the Nintendo hardware store because I was just looking to see about like getting a second dock for my Switch. So, because I have my Switch in here for streaming, and then I'd like to get another dock so I can have it in the living room and just pop it in. Especially with me getting like Breath of the Wild and Star Allies now, which I may not stream very much. Want to play those out in the living room. So I went on their website and they had the only dock they had at that point was the refurbished Animal Crossing one, and it was like $40. And from I've heard that like refurbished Nintendo stuff is like brand new almost. So I'm gonna have a Animal Crossing Tom Nook and his nephew's dock coming in. It's pretty good. At least I got the last one.
Congrats.
Thanks.
I guess.
I don't know. Is that a good deal? I don't know.
Yeah, if you want to get like a new one off like Amazon, they're like upwards of $160 for docks.
What?
You can pick one up
Is
at
that just-
Target for like 60 right now.
They have them in stock at Target?
Pretty sure I saw some when I was last at Target.
I saw the other day that Nintendo did get some of their regular docks in stock, but yeah, they're $60. So I'll save the $20 and get the peach Tom Nook one, which is gonna look great. I did miss out on I'm not a big Animal Crossing guy. I played it on the DS and I played it on the 3DS, but I skipped the Switch one, right? I'm like, I don't want my villagers getting mad at me for not picking up weeds every day. Like, I don't need that stress in my life. More power to everyone who likes Animal Crossing. But a couple weeks ago, GameStop had some price error where it was like $10. And I have major FOMO over missing that. And they honored it too. It's crazy. Sad day.
Yeah,
But
Walmart had a price error for the new Pokemon double pack.
yeah,
for
I saw
70.
that. Yeah.
It's one code for both games, so it's kind of worthless for most people. But unless you really like Pokemon Gen 4.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that double pack is really even a thing. Like what? Yeah, I guess it's for just Poke nerds.
Serious.
And I mean that.
Yeah,
I mean
serious.
that in the most, positive way. Because if you have both on one Switch, you can't trade between your two games. You still have
You'd
to have
wait for Pokemon Home to put out an update.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah,
I don't know. It would make more sense to me as like two separate codes, but people would sell them.
yeah.
But usually the thing costs, $120, so it's not like you're saving any money on there.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I hate to keep running the, this all the stories, but you keep giving me segues, because I have been playing Pokemon Shining Pearl, and I'm about 6 or 7 hours into it. I'm the only one here playing it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll take it. I love it. When they announced the Arceus game, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, we're remaking Diamond and Pearl." I looked at the art style and I was like, I don't know. I could see myself getting this. I could see myself not. It's going to be 50-50. And then as I started putting out more stuff, I started being like, well, okay, maybe 60-40 of me getting it, whatever. And then like right in the couple weeks leading up to it, the data miners got into it and picked it apart and I guess complained about it a lot. People were saying the music's crap. But they did a day one patch that fixed all the music apparently, because I think the music's fine so far. And I kind of knew what I was getting myself into with this game.
They patched it in the they patched it 2 times in the week leading up to release. Because I think because press was so bad. Because, it was leaked like 10 days early. And people were really savaging it. Because it was missing a lot of stuff. And like it didn't have an opening video. Like the whole back end of the game was not there. It was incredibly incomplete. And I think they put it out as sort of a damage control. Which is annoying because people were mocking the idea that they were going to add in, entire features as a day one patch, and those sons of guns at Nintendo added in whole new features as a day one patch, just to
Yeah,
spite people saying, that they suck and stuff,
yeah,
even though
that's
they do
pretty
suck
great.
and stuff.
I don't think it's damage control because I think you're talking about people who are paying attention to what gets leaked out of a Pokemon game. It's a lot of people, but I think in the grand scheme of how many people are buying Pokemon games, it's probably inconsequential.
I mean, it gets into the kind of the cultural zeitgeist, or I want to say amniotic fluid, but that's not the right word. Like
Well,
primordial soup of the internet,
right.
where it's just these ideas that this game is incomplete and bad, and you shouldn't get it. If they let that sit around, it could impact sales. And if they're planning on patching it day one, big ass patch, add in the opening video, for example. A lot of people saying there's not even an opening video for this game might make some people second guess buying the game. And so that's the only reason why I would think that they would release a patch, like literally release a patch that you would download and install on a copy on a game that wasn't released yet. Why would they do that? It has to be damage control.
Well, I mean, they do have reviewers playing the game.
I guess it could be for like reviewers, but I
Yeah.
haven't heard of companies doing like day zero. I've heard day zero patches, but like I've never heard of a company doing like a day -9 patch to add
Well,
in
yeah.
opening cutscene.
Even
I
when
think
a
they
game goes,
might. They just don't talk about it
yeah.
because it's really just for press.
Okay, that could also be it. This hasn't happened in such a public way.
But I wanted a game that reminded me a lot. Billy, we played this game freshman year of college. It came out our second semester of our freshman year, like April 2007, I think, in the U.S. So it just gives me a lot of nostalgia of when we lived in the quad. You, Steven, Chris, and me. And, well, Chris didn't get Pokemon, I don't think, but us three got Pokemon, and we were just, playing it. And I know, Billy, you and I spent a lot of time in the underground cave system, and I just have a lot of fond memories of that game. And so I wanted kind of the remake. It is a nostalgia trip for me. I just got access to the underground stuff today. I beat the second gym leader, and it's just a good classic Pokemon experience, which is what I wanted and knew going into that I was going to get. There's no fancy schmancy mega evolutions or Dynamaxing. It's just you and a team of Pokemon. You're going through these gyms. There's a evil team out there who thinks they're doing the right thing, but they're stealing Pokemon, and you do go 8 gyms. There's a legendary, and then you go fight the Elite Four. That's the game, and that's what I wanted. I wanted just a kind of return to monkey form, and very classic experience going back, and I love it. I think it's fantastic. It's not like game of the year or anything, but it's scratching every itch that I wanted from it. So.
Did you, what quality of life improvements are there?
So
having not played a Pokemon in a while, or are there any?
So did you play Diamond and
little.
Pearl?
Yeah, but I remember nothing about it besides capturing Dalgia. I think this is the one I remember the least. Yeah, this is the one I remember the least about because it's the one I dislike probably the most. I thought it was very boring.
So you remember the Poketch thing, right? That would be on the bottom of your screen, and you could change like the channels on it. Well, that's still that took advantage of it being a dual screen. Well, that's still here, except it's in like the upper right. You don't have to use hidden. You don't have to teach your Pokemon hidden moves, so they kept that kind of thing. So you can just like go up to a tree after you've learned to cut and you've unlocked the ability to use cut. You walk up to a tree and you just say it can be cut down. Do you want to cut it? And then a wild Pokemon comes along, cuts the tree for you, and then yeets out of there. So little stuff like that. They added the stuff in where your Pokemon can follow behind you as well, which to me is quality of life because I love that. That is such a cool aspect.
Yeah, that's huge.
There's a little stuff. I couldn't tell you. It's been so long since I played Diamond and Pearl. There's not. I mean, this may or may not offend your Pokemon sensibilities, but experience share is kind of like always on. Which it should be an option for the people who kind of want to do those like painful challenge runs, but it's there. It's always on. I don't know, Billy, what else?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff from the later games, like quality of life things they didn't put in. And I'm mostly hearing this from like big Pokemon fans is who I'm sort of talking to, and they're kind of annoyed. They still got it because they're what do you call it? They're thralls, and so they still bought the game, but they're disappointed with a lot of the decisions they made.
Yeah, I'm an extremely casual Pokemon fan. I can't remember any of the names. I have to look up a type chart.
The excuse a lot of people are like people that like the games are saying is, oh, it's a faithful remake. But I remember the other remade games were also called faithful remakes in the press leading up to it, and they included a lot of the quality of life changes. And so it's like TMs aren't infinite usable in this game, before they were.
That's true, but whenever you get TM, you get like 10. You get like a bunch of them, yeah.
So, I mean, but they could have just made an infinite and let it go with that.
Yeah, I agree.
A lot of it's kind of like
weird.
nitpicking, like the HM thing, to nitpick about it. The original reason there were HMs was, at least according to apocryphal lore, it's so that you develop a good bond. It's to symbolize you developing a bond with your Pokemon and relying on them to help you out. So you need your Pokemon to cut down this bush. You can't get through it on your own. And so your Pokemon has to help you out. And so that's what the HMs were for. And in the later games...
I understand what you're saying, but it just, in practice, it was a major annoyance.
Oh, I know. I'm getting around to it. In Gen 7 and 8 and stuff, you didn't have to teach your Pokemon HMs anymore. But there would be kind of you have I think in 7, it was like a service that you're a part of. And so you're not quite personal, but like one of the Scythers that, hangs out with that helps you out a bunch, like your friendly neighborhood Scyther shows up and cuts down the tree for you. Or, you get held in Machamp's big arms while he, tells you it's all going to be okay.
Man, I do not remember this at all.
Like that's going, it wasn't a Scyther, but like that was kind of going on in 7. And like in some of like the fan games, it was like if you have a Pokemon that could learn cut and you go up to a tree and said cut, your Pokemon would hop out and cut down the tree and then jump back in. And if you don't have a Pokemon that learns cut, then it's a random. It's a random thing. Instead, it's always just some random Pokemon that shows up and cuts down a tree for you, then dicks off somewhere else. Instead of like, I got like a team of Scythers. Why can't one of my Scyther friends cut down this tree for me? I'm just going to throw these Scythers in the trash. Again, it's a nitpick. I don't know. It doesn't... The more I read about, the less likely I'm going to get it. I think maybe I'll get this game anyway. And then it's like, yeah, you need to wait till the home comes out and subscribe in order to trade between games. And I'm like, yeah, maybe I won't buy this game. Maybe I'll just play Super Robot War 30 some more instead.
Well, so I mean, it's not like I don't have Shining Pearl and we couldn't just trade, with each other. You don't need home for that.
Well, yeah, but I would want to trade with, like, I would want to trade you Pokemon from Sword. I want to, give you a bunch of Pokemon with names that you're embarrassed to display on the internet.
Yeah, I mean that comes back to the big issue of Swords Pokédex, Dexit as will it's so affectionately known. Sword and Shield aside, I think this is a fantastic. It's everything I was looking for.
Yeah, I mean, if it's what you want, if it's what you were expecting going into it, then that's fine. More power to you. I think there's a lot of people that wanted like the story beats from like Platinum woven into it, like the story beats from Crystal and Emerald were woven into somewhat into Heart Gold, Soul Silver, or Oris. Not quite so much Oris, but like
Oris.
Platinum was a better game than Diamond or Pearl, and they didn't put in like they could have added in stuff from Platinum into the game, and it wasn't. I was like, there are no like there's if you don't pick the monkey, the fire starter, then your fire Pokemon choices are
Ponyta. Yeah,
and
I just caught my Ponyta today. Yeah.
Now you can go into the underground and you can dick around and find all sorts of random Pokemon. Yeah, but like that's not native Shinodex or whatever the heck it is.
Is it a good mix of Mons? Like what gens are in there?
I mean, it's up to Gen 4. It's anything that released from Gen 4 and earlier. Nothing after it.
Which, keeping in mind, Charlie, is still 493 Pokemon.
So, like...
yeah.
I mean, that's another thing. Like, when the second gen... Like, when the first gen games were remade, Crobat existed. But Crobat wasn't in Gen 1. But you could get a Crobat in Fire Red and Leaf Green. If there's a Pokemon in Gen 4 that has an evolution in Gen 5, you can't evolve that Pokemon in Gen 4 in this game. If there is one. I don't know off the top of my head.
This didn't dawn on... Go ahead.
It's little things like that are... That's what when I'm hearing people call it like a lazy remake or mocking it being a faithful remake, that's the type of stuff they're referring to. Where it's like little... things that they've done in the past and they just didn't feel like doing it this time.
But that is every Pokemon game.
I know, it's because they're bad games. And
yeah,
it's not Heart Gold and Soul Silver though.
Heart Gold, like I mean, well the other ones didn't do it as much. It was Gen 8 that really starts them being kind of lazy.
Well, I mean, to me, Pokemon has always been every game. One step forward, two steps back. Like, I mean, if you're talking about, X and Y came out, full character customization, and then Oras comes out, and you're stuck looking with your white hat that you're questioning the whole time: is this hair or is this a hat? And why is it brown and then gray? So
cool hat.
It's always been like this. They always do. They introduce a cool thing and they take it out in the next.
Oras is a faithful remake, Kenny.
No, it doesn't. It splits the timeline.
It's more the latest, Gen 8 where they're like removing tons of stuff, and it's because like when they added in like Z moves, you could still do Mega Evolution. Like it used to be like there's this brand new mechanic that they show up, they shove in, and it's the new hotness, and then the next game it's there. But no one cares about it anymore. No one cared about Mega Forms, really. Yeah. In the game that came after it. But you could still get your Mega Gengar or whatever. They're just kind of getting rid of that type of stuff. And it's I don't know. It's kind of a shame. I remember liking these games. I want them to be like my mind's eye version of Pokemon instead of the thing that's in front of me.
Yeah, and and I understand where you're coming from, and I do feel for you. But as a casual fan myself,
I
I'm
don't.
just like,
I know.
but I do think what you're saying though, and I see all these people on the internet getting hyped about Legends Arceus, and I have this pit in my stomach that that game is going to suck egg.
Oh, I'm sure it will. But
And
eggs are good. Eggs taste good. So
That's
who
true.
that's
knows?
true.
That's true. I mean, I would say I'm far more interested in that game than I am this, because this just sounds like why I stopped playing Pokemon. It's I'm also a casual fan, Kenny. I don't care about EVs and IVs, and I don't remember
Yeah,
what
nature is
Pokemon
as
are
far as I'll
in
go.
what gen. But
They
it's just too easy. It just becomes boring.
they
Like
they
if there was like a difficulty adjustment or something, I guess
what was
maybe.
it? I
Or
think
if
it was
this was
white.
Platinum Story, I guess
It was
I'd
black
try
and
it.
white, or maybe the black and white 2 that had a hard mode that actually changed stuff up. And to this game's credit, there is a big and like after you beat the game, there's a lot
Yeah,
more
but
stuff.
that's like 50 hours in. I don't want
Well, I
it to
mean,
take 50 hours for me to get to that point. Like,
yeah, but like
no.
there's a like like there are a bunch of like gym rematches you can have, and like in the gym rematches, the leaders in the Elite Four have their Pokemon Platinum teams, which are better. And then after you do those rematches, there's like two other versions, like two other teams they have where they start having like competitively designed teams.
That's cool.
Hmm.
Like Cynthia has like her team actually at 88, so it's not quite as high of a level as Red from
Gold and silver.
yeah, the Gold and Silver remakes, but her teams are like EV trained and have like good IVs and natures and stuff like that. And the battle tower has like actual like competitive teams in there. Like not just random nonsense, but like things with a really deliberate like stat spread. So it can just outspeed and two-hit kill a common threat to it. Or like a common big boy Pokemon. So like there are some cool things in there. There's some interesting things for like the more hardcore fan, the person that cares more about kind of like the stats and the training and that type of stuff. But there's a lot of decisions where it's like, why couldn't you just have been better? Why'd you do like this? It's kind of lazy, I feel. The experience share was kind of a minor. I guess it's
There's a
kind of
lot of.
emblematic of the
And,
things.
I think lazy is a little bit disingenuous. I don't know if that's the term I would use. I understand the meaning behind it, but like I mean, there's stuff like when you go into a trainer battle, the trainer comes out posed like his sprite from the original game
Yeah,
before
that's
he
cool.
then before he then breaks in to throw his Pokeball and stuff. Like so there's like a lot of like really cool touches in this game. It's just not what I think the hardcore crowd was wanting.
Yeah, I think the hardcore crowd
hmm.
wanted a platinum remake because platinum had like a huge like battle. Like it wasn't just like a battle tower. It was like battle frontier. There was like
Yeah.
5 different battle towers you could go to.
And
That type of stuff was fun.
I hate to, say it, but this is now a Pokemon company that can do DLC. So I
Oh
would not be
God.
surprised, yeah, if there's a platinum pack that comes, in
Hey,
like
you know
3
what?
months.
If there's a platinum pack that like adds in a lot of the thing, well, I mean,
I'm,
they couldn't like add in a bunch more fire Pokemon in the wild, really, unless it's like a third version like Fire Emblem Fate Revelations, where it's a whole different version of the game. If they start, oh Christ, if they start doing that nonsense,
Yeah, so that's
I
just
don't
something to
know.
think. I think you'll definitely see DLC of some sort come around the bend for Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond, but
then it won't be a faithful remake.
that term means nothing. Is this what people are latching on to?
It's both the term of derision and the defense for this game.
Interesting.
It's both.
Here's my defense for the game. I like it. That's my defense.
Yeah.
You don't need to defend that. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, I don't give. Good
No,
for
yeah,
you.
I'm not fighting you. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. As I become older on the internet, I'm becoming like increasingly radicalized and more toxic against discourse. I'm becoming such an anti-discourse person. I hate all of it. I hate everything I see about Dragon Ball discussion online. I hate it. There's no point. Who cares who's stronger? If you think Goku's stronger than Vegeta, hey, that's great. More power to you. It doesn't affect anything about my enjoyment of the series. So that's kind of like how I feel about Pokemon. I'm just very anti-discourse.
You just need to find the right place for discourse. Like, go hang out with your Dragon Ball friends that discuss like translation inconsistencies, which is what you do right now.
Stuff, yeah.
Just hang out with those people. That's the type of discourse you're down for.
Yeah.
It's the right attitude to have for a person who hosts a podcast. To hate discourse.
That's different. That's different.
Okay.
But, well, Charlie, it sounds like this game's not for you then.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that as soon as I saw it. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm glad people who want to play Pokemon have something new to play. That's fine. I've just parted ways. Maybe I'll check out Legends. We'll see.
If you pre-order Legends from the Pokemon Center web store, you get a little sitting Arceus doll. Which once those sitting dolls are sold out, they don't remake them. So that doll is going to go for like hundos. That's a real NFT, man. A doll.
Whoa.
Did you know there's an episode of House where he talks about Arceus?
I did know that. There's an episode of House where he talks about Arceus. There's a House where he played Metroid Zero Mission. Maybe it was Fusion.
What?
I'm pretty sure it was Zero Mission.
This is blowing my mind.
House is a good show.
Yeah,
I mean, I knew that, but
House getting a PSP was like a plot point in an episode.
I play video games.
My God.
This is a gamer. Us gamers, man.
That's why he's so jaded, huh?
Yeah. So, Charlie, what else you got?
I've been playing a bunch of stuff. I guess the other hot thing from this week was not really a game, but Radiohead put out this interactive piece on PC and PlayStation for their anniversary, I guess, of their album called Kid A Nesia. It's just like a museum-esque thing where you're walking around with a bunch of interactive pieces. I'm not like a Radiohead fan. I just wanted to check it out. Mm-hmm. It's only like an hour long and it's free. There's some cool stuff in it with audio design and interactivity for a music space. And I guess I'm glad there's more things like this on game consoles that aren't strictly a game. But I've also seen like a whole bunch of these in VR already, so it was kind of not as impressive as it might be for some people.
I'm glad this exists too. My only exposure to Radiohead is like a Naruto music video I think I watched in high school. And I was like, yeah, that song's pretty cool.
Pretty much.
Did Naruto pull out an AK and just start wasting Rick and Morty?
Yeah, hey, did anyone start Fortnite because of Naruto?
I wouldn't start anything because of Naruto, much less Fortnite.
So when I heard they were putting Naruto in Fortnite, I got a little scared. Because had they announced that Rock Lee was going to be one of these playable characters, I might have had to have figured out where I was dropping boys.
Yes, Rock Lee learned a new taijutsu.
Yeah.
The long range taijutsu.
But it's
Who
funny.
needs
You talk about
chakra when you have a gun?
you talk about Naruto in Fortnite, and there's these great videos that are like showing Naruto, and he's riding on QB as he's like dropping. I don't know the Fortnite lore. He's dropping and he's riding QB. And it's got this like beautiful Naruto soundtrack music over it, and then Naruto pulls out the AK-47. The music cuts and he's just firing. And I just looked at that and I was like, what a trashy ass game. And I don't like to curse on this show, but what a trashy ass game. What an absolute piece of miserable slime.
I know, it's great.
That Fortnite is.
You just have to become like insincere irony poisoned, and I think then the game's for you. That's the target market for this game. Is the terminally irony poisoned people that just do whatever for a bit. They don't even care about anything anymore. I think and children. Also children.
I don't want to spend too much time talking about this because this is three guys who don't play Fortnite talking about Fortnite.
I played a little bit of Warzone.
Okay. Have they put Naruto in Warzone?
Not yet.
No, just John
Are they going to put
Rambo?
Yeah, are they going to put like John Wick or Neo or somebody in it?
Maybe.
I thought I heard that.
Put John Wick in that Sifu game.
Is a Terminator in there? That'd be cool.
That seems pretty OP.
Maybe the Terminator and Dead by Daylight. That might be fun.
Oh, thank you, Billy. Speaking of Dead by Daylight, I totally forgot about this until now. So there is a new Dragon Ball Z game coming out, Dragon Ball The Breakers. And nobody's quite sure exactly what it is, like in terms of how much of a game it is. Because it seems like it's its own thing, but it's also using the models from Xenoverse. And then they're saying that it's going to share the save data with Xenoverse 2. And that stuff will be able to move between games. And so I'm like, is this its own standalone thing, or is this like a DLC spin-off expansion for Xenoverse?
I think it's a standalone game that's kind of an outgrowth of Xenoverse.
Yeah, it's weird.
Xenoverse reproduce asexually.
Yeah.
And this budded off, and it's final. It's more or less completely separated.
Yeah. I think it's, I watched the trailer. I was walking from my car to my office, and I had, checking Twitter as I was walking, and I saw this and I was like, what the hell? And so I clicked on it and I was watching it, and my first reaction was, I hate this. But then as I continued to watch it, I was like, oh, they're doing something new and interesting with Dragon Ball. That's not like another card game or another RPG or another fighting game, And I'm kind of thrilled now. It has to be priced right. I don't think I exactly want to pay $60 for whatever this is going to offer. So it's got to be priced right, and the game looks jank from the gameplay that's in the trailer, but in a way that I don't care. I think it's still going to be pretty fun. I don't know. Yeah, so the trailer shows Cell in what is one of my favorite parts of the series, where Cell arrives, and there's kind of like a horror vibe, because, Cell's here. He's calling Piccolo his brother. He's using the Kamehameha, and he's using the Makanko Sapo, and he's referring to Piccolo also as Great Demon King Piccolo. So he's like pulling in all these things that just don't make any sense, and then he's knowing things he shouldn't know, and then he's running around sucking people with his tail, and it's just a really cool part of the series. And this game is kind of capitalizing on that, at least as far as that, because there's also Frieza and Boo stuff in the game. And then beyond that, I guess it becomes a platform for DLC. Maybe you get like Goku Black and Zamasu, and then maybe Baby from GT would work. Tao Pai Pai runs around murking people.
Going on with his tongue.
Yeah, tongue blasting him. That's the, there he is right there. Tao Pai Pai. I'm into it. I don't know if you guys are going to get it or not. I'll buy it, and anytime I'm Cell, I'll just run around doing the best budget Damian Clark impression I can. Hello, Piccolo, stuff like that. And you go, oh God, I hate this guy. But that's probably
Report.
Yeah, report.
Gamer words all over the
Gamer
place.
words. Yeah.
Gamer words.
Put
on
what do you guys think?
King hat and just make a real fool of himself.
Are you guys down to the breakers?
I had a similar thing. I was like, what is this? Why are they doing it? And then as I read a little bit about it, I'm like, oh, it's characters are in some like time loop or time bubble. I'm like, okay, I guess that kind of makes sense what's going on. I'll stick around and see how it turns out.
Oh yeah, I mean the one thing I'm not concerned about here is the story.
Is there going to be a story?
Stupid.
This sounds like a multiplayer only
It can
thing.
be stupid and dumb,
Well,
but
the
as long
setup,
as
I
it
guess.
makes some sense,
Yeah.
as long as there's some semblance of reasoning in there at some point, it's the only thing I cared about.
Yeah. We're talking about Dragon Ball, right?
Yeah.
Saying there's no sense to begin with.
Well,
you just have to have
Charlie.
shown. They have to have shown like a story outline to the game at some point. Just hold up a piece of paper with the word story on it to the game.
yeah.
And that's about all the story I actually care about. But just that. Just a hint of story.
I mean, you get to play as Oolong. I mean, what's better than that?
Playing as Chaozu?
Yeah, maybe.
Or the farmer with a gun?
but-
I don't know.
Where's the Farm with the Gun DLC?
Hey, it might happen. Bandai Namco are the absolute pimp daddies of DLC. So they're absolutely going to milk this game for everything it's worth. I mean...
So that's
they are
why this
just
is
the
Dead by
worst.
Daylight.
Yeah. They are the worst, and I hate them unless they wanted to sponsor me, in which case I love them. But for now, not a fan. And that goes just for most things I say I don't like.
I'd check it out.
I'd sign up for an open beta.
Oh, yeah, I got
Give
to
them
do
my
that.
email address.
Yeah, and it's going to be cross-platform, I think.
Is there an
Maybe they
open
didn't say
beta?
that.
I'm just
I
saying
think
in
it's something
general,
else.
I would sign up for an open beta for this game.
Probably, I don't think it's till next year, right? So
Yeah,
probably not
2022.
for a
But,
while.
I mean, Charlie, next year is in a month and a half now. So
No, I don't believe you.
we're creeping towards a time when Breath of the Wild 2 could come out any day.
No. I was shitting on the last one, but no, definitely not. That game will be lucky to come out next year.
I tell you, I've got a new way to experience Dragon Ball.
Rectally?
What?
Oh,
yeah, what does that mean?
Close.
What?
So, and by the way, but when I say that, I mean non-visually. What I'm doing is I'm going to listen to it like an audiobook. So
I thought you bought a bunch of sniff and scratches.
No, I'm not going to be smelling it. I don't really need to smell Goku's gi after a fight with Frieza. I think I'm good on that. But maybe those trees that grow on Namek, what are those called? I should know this, but I don't. Starts with an A. Anyways, yeah. So I downloaded like all the dub audio for Kai. Wait, hey, I own it. It's fine. And I had to download FFmpeg because these were like an AC3 format. So, and I don't know if you ever mess with FFmpeg, but it's all command line input. So I had to learn how to use this command line input program.
There are GUIs for it. I have one. You could have asked.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't have learned anything.
You aren't going to...
I learned how to make a batch process that could run through a whole folder and convert all the files in it. So now if you ever need a batch process done, I'll be like, Billy, here's the code for it. Put this .bat file in your folder and go.
I probably have one somewhere.
So,
If you can do one that gives the time of an audio file down to the millisecond, that would be very helpful for a project I'm working on.
time of
Mhm.
an audio file
Yeah.
in. Well, I don't know. I probably can't do that. But yeah, so I started last night, and I would never recommend this be anyone's first experience with Dragon Ball Z of any kind, or really of any media. It only works because I have read the series and watched the series so many times. I know what's going on when I hear a certain sound effect. I know, oh, that's the sound effect of Raditz catching the farmer's bullet in his hand and then flicking it back at him. So I can see all that in my head, but of course, that's not getting described to me. So, but it's a cool way. And I've also heard that this is a fresh way to watch Arrested Development, Charlie. Is that there are so many jokes in Arrested Development that when you're not watching it, your brain is picking up more on these quiet things that are being said in the background. And the show is apparently like chock full of that kind of stuff that you only really notice when you're only listening to it.
Like that's with any show. If you listen to just audio only, usually what you find out is that the actors suck. It's just really bad acting all over the place. We don't have the visuals to kind of distract you from people not knowing how to act like a human being. I mean, I'm not one to talk about acting like a human being, but still, I don't pretend that I act like a human being ever.
So just an interesting way to consume a media that I've consumed a million times over.
For sure. I don't think I could do that, but that's cool.
I mean, with something you don't know, like backwards and forwards, you couldn't do this with like The Simpsons. Simpsons is different because there's so many visual gags.
No,
that
there's
miss out on.
yeah. I mean, even with Arrested Development, I think there's too many visual gags too. But yeah,
Well, that's the idea.
that's cool.
You're sacrificing the visual gags to unlock all the audible gags.
But why would I do that?
So you can then know all the gags going forward.
But then why would I rewatch the show if I know all the gags again? That's the point of a
Charlie-
rewatch, is to find those yourself.
Charlie,
Slowly,
let me tell you something.
over the course of decades.
I am getting fed up with you
Okay.
as I watch Curb Your Enthusiasm season 11. And as I watch this show, and I can do nothing but think about how you have not watched this as such a Seinfeld fan, and that you have not seen Curb Your Enthusiasm. We touched on this last episode, Charlie, and I'm still furious about it.
Okay.
Because you're doing yourself such a disservice, man.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I took a juncture and I decided that It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia was a more interesting continuation of the Seinfeld idea. Because that show's great. And you don't watch that either. So I'll trade you.
I gave
I don't think
Sunny
you did.
a chance. I gave it like a season and a handful of episodes, and I decided it wasn't for me.
As a Seinfeld fan?
It's not my fault.
What are we
they
doing
waited
here?
until season 2 to introduce Danny DeVito.
Then just start at season 2.
But I watched season 1 already.
Good, then you don't have to watch it. Start at season 2.
Kenny, what if I was talking about The Office and said that to you? I watched the first season, it was garbo trash. I'm not going to watch Office 2. Pretend that you don't know I don't like The Office. What would you say? You would tell me to just watch season 2 and
I'm not
me.
the world's biggest Office fan anymore. So I
Well,
would be
anymore,
kinda like, okay,
yeah.
Sure.
No, you would.
Wrong show. Pick
Back in
another
the
show.
day, you would have pestered me.
Pick Breaking Bad. Actually, then I'd call you a moron because Breaking Bad's first episode is one of the best opening episodes of all time.
Yeah, it didn't really work there.
Yeah, I'd take a real offense to that. You not liking Breaking Bad.
Or like Parks and Recreation. I watched Parks season 1 and
Yeah.
thought it was bad. And you
Yeah.
would pester me to watch Parks, to say keep watching. It gets better.
I'd say, guess what? You thought the first season was bad? Wait till you see the final season.
Like, I'm not watching that. I haven't watched it. I'm not going to watch it.
You don't want to prep for Chris Pratt's resurgence
He never
wait till
went
as
away.
Mario.
I'll wait till Chris
No, that's what-
Pratt plays Amuro and Star and Bright in the upcoming, and Fraubo in the upcoming Gundam movie.
Hey, this is a good time to remind everyone that
They-
this show...
They said that the Chris Pratt will not be in the Gundam movie. I think it was a Gundam movie.
Did Tomino come out and say that himself?
No, it was like one of the director for it. Like, I think when they put out the thing, they also said Chris Pratt wasn't going to be in it.
The Netflix thing? Yeah.
Something. Maybe.
Yeah. There's some
it was-
Netflix
it was-
live action.
There was
You're
a
telling
movie
me
where they
Chris
said-
Pratt could have saved Cowboy Bebop?
I don't think anything could have saved Cowboy Bebop.
You couldn't make it worse.
Have you guys watched any of it? Or seen
Hell no.
clips?
Oh, I mean, I saw the clips.
No.
I saw like the clip I showed you, and the clip you posted, like the Ed clip, and
Yeah.
then I saw a clip where they put Seinfeld, a Seinfeld laugh track behind it.
Then
And it
there's
was
the
like, okay.
blackmail thing.
I saw that too, and I'm like, I'm done with this shit.
Yeah.
I saw the scene, like the you know the icon, like the ending scene,
Ave Maria scene, yeah.
and they
Well, it's not
Fucked
the
it
ending
all up.
scene, but yeah, they...
no, I mean like the last shot, not the almost the last shot of the anime where Vicious and Spike are threatening each other, and they change the camera angle, and Spike looks like he's just sort of like, "Hey man, how's it going?"
Yeah.
Sort of like, "I'm going to try to fucking shove my gun down your ass and shoot you to death with it." He doesn't know. He's just like, "Hey, what's up? How's it going, Vicious?"
It doesn't even seem
Bad-
worth hate watching.
No, it doesn't. Like I was enjoying the Seinfeld the Seinfeld cafe or diner scene I put on. I showed you guys, but I stopped watching it about a minute in. I'm like, okay, yeah, I get the joke. I'm done with this crap. It's not worth it anymore.
I
Turned it
gotta
off.
say, I am so excited for Netflix's One Piece after this.
I will hate watch that.
They've got Eminem playing Sanji.
I mean, I saw a review of the Cowboy Bebop, the live action one, and they said it's embarrassed to be an anime adaptation, and so everything in there, they're constantly poking fun at it and laughing at it, and they don't let anything. They don't treat it like it's a serious thing, and if One Piece does the same thing, it's, you know, I mean, One Piece is more funny, haha, but
Well, it's a different
I think-
creative team, but
yeah. Hopefully they're not like embarrassed to be working on a live
man.
action anime.
let me tell you something right here. I hope it's the worst, and I hope that Gundam show is terrible too, because at some point we got to stop making these things. And however many...
Unsubscribe from Netflix. Cancel your Netflix if you care that much.
Yeah, but I'm watching Seinfeld right now.
Just stop. Give it up. Sacrifice
Where else-
Seinfeld for less anime on the clock.
Listen, when they put Breaking Bad out on 4K Blu-ray, then I can confidently tell you that my days as a Netflix subscriber may be numbered. But until that happens,
Like that's the only thing that's going to happen, because they don't care if no one watches it. It gets people talking about it, and that's the only thing they care. Like the whole, I think Cowboy Bebop was only made for a couple of trailers and a few posters, and that's really they made an entire show just to do that.
I think it's funny that
Damn.
people think that, you know, people are like, well, the bright side is that they'll see this live action thing and then that will make them want to watch the anime. And I'm like, I don't know. If I was watching a show and it was awful, the last thing I would want to do is watch the source material.
Yeah,
I would
pretty
just
much.
want to distance myself from that property as much as possible.
Like
Probably.
you would have to be able to tell. Like the crappy version would have to have some hint of brilliance in there that you could still pick up on and be like, I bet there's a gem somewhere in this turd. Let me go watch the original source. And me refusing to watch it. I don't know if that gem is somewhere in this live action show.
But I guess at the end of the day, I really shouldn't. We just shouldn't care, right? It's not like this live action Bebop has any bearing on the anime. It's not like the live action One Piece or Gundams are going to do anything to those original properties. At the worst with Gundam, there will be some cool looking mecha that will get model kits.
Maybe. Well, I mean, they even put out a G Sager kit at one point.
Yeah, so
That's true, man. You can watch that show on YouTube. Bandai hasn't taken it down. Whole movie available on YouTube. Bandai doesn't care.
that's the
Where
previous
is my
live
G-
action Gundam, right?
Where's my G Savior Blu-ray release? That's the last one I don't have. I have a lot of Gundam.
Yeah, I can figure that. Well, hey, this is a good time to remind everyone that this show, and this is where you guys are missing out by not watching the stream when we do this. This is a good time to remind everyone this show is brought to you by twitch.tv/chuckles825, where Charlie presents, he does a lot of VR streams, a lot of indie game streams. Hopefully someday he'll start playing Crazy Taxi again, but let's not count our chickens before they hatch. But usually he streams on Sunday nights, but I put a question mark here in the little thing because who knows if that might change at any time. I made this graphic without Charlie's explicit permission or implicit.
Is this what a sponsorship is?
Yeah. So this show, brought to you by twitch.tv/chuckles825. So
Okay. Okay.
all right, we're back.
I'll send you the Whataburger later.
Tight. Well, if it's for a free Whataburger, I don't eat that, so send it to Billy. Hey, max level snacks. You guys. This is an important one. This is possibly the most important max level snacks we've ever done. So a couple of weeks ago.
Got a Whataburger.
Hey, speaking of Whataburger,
It's made of metal.
did you buy that in store or
No,
from the website?
Steven got it for me.
Oh, cool.
It's a very late birthday gift.
So max level snacks, right?
Splash water over my fucking
A couple
couch.
weeks ago on a Discord that I frequent with some friends of mine, some other friends of mine. You guys are my friends too. It was revealed to me that Mountain Dew has a gingerbread snapped. It's not going to focus flavor here. And my first thought was gross. I don't want gingerbread flavored Mountain Dew. But I was intrigued because the person who bought it and was talking about it said they liked it so much that they even bought a second bottle of it. So I said, okay, I'm on the hunt. And I found it at Walmart the other day. And let me tell you something. This is pretty good. It's okay. It's enough that I didn't want to drink the whole thing. Certainly is a flavor. It's a novelty flavor. So, Ashley and I split this thing, and she finished it today and was like, do you want any of it? And I'm like, nah, I'm good. But, Charlie, this stuff unlocked what I had always questioned about Christmas Coke.
Okay.
Now, as it's well documented on past episodes of this podcast that are no longer available, Christmas Coke tastes different than regular Coke. Okay? They don't ever advertise it. They slip it in under the radar. I had only ever noticed it with the cans that are branded Christmas as tasting different. But we've done taste tests, Billy and Chris, and Billy, nobody hates me in this world more than Billy, okay? And
Pretty much.
Even Billy agrees that Christmas Coke tastes different.
The more accurate way would saying no one hates agreeing with Kenny
There you go. Yeah.
as much as I do. And I had to agree with him. And I hated it.
Yeah. But it was always just, we were never really able to put on our finger on how it tastes different. And whenever I would regale people with this story, it would just be, it tastes Christmassy. That's the only way I could put it. But after tasting this, and it helped me kind of triangulate and isolate that flavor that I had always referred to as Christmassy. And I can say here with 90% assurance that Christmas flavor I've never been able to identify before is in fact either ginger or gingerbread flavor of some sort in Christmas Coke.
Artificial ginger flavoring.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I could see that.
But what's interesting is that Coca-Cola never advertises this. You know, what's the deal? What's the deal? And I'm frankly appalled that more people don't catch on to it. But I guess, you know, I'm a Coke fiend, so I would pick up on it. But I have Googled, there are other people on the Reddit who...
Christmas Coke truthers?
There's a Christmas
who are
Coke
Christmas Coke truthers, yes.
r/Christmas Coke truthers?
Yeah. There are other people, other aficionados who've picked up on it. And I do believe that it is artificial ginger / gingerbread flavor involved in that. And they sneak it in. It's not as strong as in this, but it's there.
I learned a little more about blind taste testing over the last year or so. And the true way of doing it is to use 3 cups. And so you have 2 samples of one thing and 1 sample of the other.
You pick which one is the different one.
Yeah, it's harder to do. It one or the other is easier to do than 2 or 1. So that's what you should try next time.
I read a theory online that someone was saying, well, maybe it's just that Christmas Coke, you're drinking a fresher batch of Coke.
But you've used old Coke. You've used like your old Coke for this or something.
Yeah. And I thought I was starting to lean towards, well, maybe that is the case. But then after I drank this, I said, no, it's absolutely that ginger aspect to it that's in Christmas Coke.
Maybe the artificial ginger in Coke is more volatile than the other flavors. And so it just goes away more.
Yeah.
I mean, Coke does have a ginger flavor to it. Like that's definitely a flavor in
They just
Coke.
amp it up for the Christmas Coke, maybe. Yeah.
Something like
maybe it's just a different because there's a different print on the can. Maybe they're using a different type of aluminum thickness that's leaking into the
I'm glad
Coke.
you brought this up, Charlie. I'm glad that we're finally addressing this because I would have said, yes, Charlie, that could be a possibility. But these taste buds of mine have identified that, no, Coke has started sneaking in Christmas Coke ahead of time.
Okay.
Yeah, and it is also in effect in Coke Zero, which is what I drink now. I don't really drink regular Coke, but I have recognized in the past that when they switch over to Christmas stuff, Christmas Coke tastes different. Christmas Coke Zero tastes different, but they snuck it in ahead of time, and you can enjoy Christmas Coke flavors on shelves now. This is not an ad for Coke. This is just an ad for stuff that I like.
Okay. I'm glad we solved that.
My max level snack was going to be a plate of eggs, but I ate them before the show started.
Anyone else been playing anything?
Super Robot War 30.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
go
going
ahead.
on with that game's bug situation?
So there's a big patch that came out for a new DLC, or they released DLC a little bit earlier than they had said they were going to. And people quickly found out that one of the main characters, robots, doesn't show up in the game anymore. Like, if he's force deployed in a mission, he'll show up, but you can't see him in the between mission things, or you can't deploy him in a non-forced way. And the only way to fix that is to play one of a few missions where I guess he's featured more heavily in it. But if you're already beating those missions, then you're just out of luck. Or in my case, I'm several story missions away from getting to the next one. Also, they had said in their DLC announcement that if you bought the DLC and bought the premium sound DLC, which has like the actual licensed tracks and not remixes made for the game, then the actual licensed tracks from the DLC robots, or the series the DLC robots are from, will show up in the game, and you can play with, like hearing the Japanese opening for Sakura Wars, the robot, or Sakura Robot Show. I don't know what the heck it's called, man. That wasn't the case either. They put out an update. They put out an announcement. It was like, "Hey, yeah, you go into the setting menu and here are the songs you need. Here are the settings you need to change in order to play the right music if you have the songs." And then people found out that if you load a game from mid-chapter save, your suits lose all their ammunition. So you either need to send your ship back to the battleship to resupply, or hope you have a energy weapon on the robot, because you don't have any more ammo. And it's been like 4 days of, "Hey, there's a bug in this game. We're sorry about it. We'll get it fixed as soon as possible. Hey, yeah, we found out there's another bug in this game. Let's get it. Ooh, oops, there's this other thing we messed up on." So maybe this morning, maybe this evening, they'll put out a fix and fix it. It's annoying because I typically try to use just the main characters from the shows, at least my first time through. And now I can't do it because the main character is gone.
Rip. Which character?
I don't know his name. It's
Okay.
it's red. The mech is Red 5. It's from Majestic Prince, which I think was animated or had character designs by the the people that did Gundam Seed, because it looks like a Gundam Seed ass show.
Scried. Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to watch that show, and I actually bought it because it was on. There's a really good sale at some point. I wanted to watch it because I saw the trailer animations for Red 5, and I thought it looked really cool. And it's like, oh, the show is like $10 or something, and I'm bad with money. Let me just buy the show. And I haven't got around to watching it yet. It's been like 8 months since I bought the Blu-ray, so obviously I haven't gotten around to watching it yet. Yeah, I don't think I want to watch it. The characters of that show suck.
Just based on your impressions in Super Robot Wars?
Yeah, like they show up and they're a bunch of perverts, and I'm like,
Oh, okay.
I don't want to watch the show. Everyone's a pervert, or they all have annoying gimmicks. Like, she's the uptight one. She's the sex fiend. He's the sex fiend. He has an upset stomach. He's a sex fiend. He's a dumbass. It's like,
I think you're describing Tenchi Muyo.
I don't want to watch I don't want to watch the show anymore. Why did I buy it? Because I'm bad with money. I already answered my question. There's some other stuff going on in the game, and I don't want to get into it. It's dumb people are dumb about dumb things, and I'll leave it at that.
Sounds like it's doing its intended purpose of marketing a bunch of shows.
Yeah, I watched some show because there's a dub for it, and so it was easy to watch. little 12 episode isekai. Trash genre, trash show. It was a fun watch.
Billy, where does Jump Force getting delisted leave you feeling about the future of Super Robot Wars?
It's going to be a really unfortunate when it gets delisted, but
Yeah.
I already bought it, so they can't really take it away.
Yeah. Charlie, did you not know about this?
I think I saw a tweet about it.
Yeah,
Sure.
Jump Force is leaving this world, which, I mean, look,
Is it
game
leaving?
preservation is important, but
Is it only like Western storefronts, or is it worldwide?
as far as I know, well, I mean, I guess I don't have an answer to that. But what I can tell you is that they're ending the online service for it next August, which would lead me to believe that it would be worldwide.
Okay. I don't know how much, like, part of, like, the press release says they're getting rid of, like, the in-store character shop or something, and I don't know what that is. I don't know.
I didn't buy this game. I almost bought it a couple days ago, and then I decided
If it was like,
I'm good.
if it was if it has a robust enough single player game, then maybe. I don't know.
It's
though. I heard it's a bad game. I heard it's
Yeah.
not even worth playing just to say you played it.
What's crazy is that it was the 4th best-selling game, period, in North America in 2019.
People love Gokus.
I mean, isn't that game like the only 3D fighting game you could play as a Yugi?
That you
I
can
guess
still
it's got-
purchase. Yes.
Yeah. I
You
guess
can
it's
play
got
as
that
Yugi
going
and-
for it.
Jumpstar's Victory Versus on the PS3.
Yeah, but that's not is that a 3D fighter?
Yeah, it's 3D.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Jump Force is a inferior version of Jumpstar's Victory Versus Plus.
Okay.
You know, game preservation is important. It's really a shame that this is the title that's getting a lot of eyes on that argument.
Hey, you know what?
because-
better some Garbo title that gets people riled up over it than a game people actually care about. Because
Yeah.
it might. I'm thinking it may take a few games it may take a while for game preservation to really get going, and so let's have a bunch of sacrificial trash games before we start getting to like the good things.
Yeah, it's not even just that Jump Force is trash. It's just that it being gone from this world is a positive for the universe. So it's
Kind
it's a
of.
bit beyond
Well, I
Garbo in game.
I think it's not bad that it's going away, but it's still a shame that it's going away.
Yeah.
Someone likes it. Like even bad things when they're going, like if someone might appreciate this, you know, a trash game, and it's a shame when it goes away and they
Yeah.
can no longer enjoy their trash. But yeah, get better taste, kid. Who was there's some I think it was a comic writer who was on some panel and she was denigrating
Uh-oh.
one of her stories.
Uh-huh.
This story's crap, lol. And like she was talking to like some fan, and the fan got like teary-eyed and said it's my favorite story. And the comic writer's like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't denigrate your stuff because there's someone out there that might like it. So maybe you shouldn't denigrate.
If it's
Find
your
a hand-
own stuff, though. Well,
On that note,
so don't
When I
denigrate
work-
the show.
yeah,
Yeah.
Hey, my father-in-law, he beat Red Dead Redemption 2.
I heard there was a person
Cool.
turning Red Dead Redemption 2 into a book so that their dad could read it and enjoy it.
Well, Red Dead
Which is
2,
pretty cool.
you know, my father-in-law, I've seen him watching Westerns and stuff before, so I was like, hey, you should check this game out. And they fell in love with Red Dead Redemption 2. I mean, it became like a family situation where they're all sitting down. I found out yesterday that, he's doing the post game now. So he's like going around finding all the secrets. And my mother-in-law will have her phone up and she's like looking on message boards and on like game facts and stuff, trying to find all the secrets. She's looking up all the factoids about the game. Like, oh, well, there's you can find, there are these supposedly 3 of these things because the game says you can have 2 out of 3 of them, but they can only find the 2, and it's nobody knows where the third one is, and the meteorites, I think. Skylar in chat saying LOL. Yeah, it's become like a whole thing over there. And so what's cool for them is that they've only played Red Dead 2, so they still have John's story to go. So at some point they're going to have to borrow the PS3 and play that. But yeah, it's Red Dead 2 is one of my favorite games. When I played it, it was a real contender. I had to sit down and think if it was going to usurp Metal Gear Solid 3 for me as my favorite game of all time. It was like that much. I enjoyed Red Dead 2 that much. And so it really brings me joy to see other people love Red Dead 2 that much. So I let them borrow it, and I said, they're loving it so much, I don't want that adventure to end, so they can just have my copy. I bought another one. So that's another Black Friday sale I took advantage of. So, because them talking about it got me itching that I wanna go back and start exploring that world some more, because it's a kind of game. It's like Breath of the Wild, in a way that you can just keep going back and finding stuff you didn't see before. The world's that big. There's that much stuff in it, and so actually, yeah, after this podcast, I got to go pick up my copy at Best Buy.
I also have to pick up something from Best Buy, and then I have to cause some problems.
Great. You know what's causing problems in my life, Billy? Friggin' Hitman 3. I gotta. This game, man, I can't stop playing it, okay? Last weekend, I played this game for like 20 hours, okay? Because during one of my streams, Charlie was like, hey, can you kill everyone in this map? And so I started doing it, and then I kind of felt like a psycho, so I stopped it. But then it just so happened that about the same time, the Hitman 3 PC community figured out how to make hacked contracts that are built around killing everyone in the map. Normally, you can't do this, because when you start a contract, you can only pick 5 targets. But when you're like making it yourself the normal way. But the PC players figured out how to hack it and make it so that they can turn every NPC in the map into a target. And those hacked contract maps you can also play on PlayStation. And let me tell you, Hitman 3 is not built around having 100 plus targets in a map, because it was crashing multiple times for me. It's like I would kill everyone, and the game is then like doing the final thing where it's tallying everything up, and then my PS5 would crash. It's really chugging what is effectively like a supercomputer, brings it to its knees. And yeah, it's cool. Anyways, there's still a few more I got to do. But and it's killing everyone in a map in Hitman is really hard, especially as a contract, because there's no saves. And I know Charlie hates watching me do that, where I save, and then I try something, and then I go back to my save. When you do a contract, that you have to do it in one go, or that's it. And so I've done several of them, and that's what I was doing last weekend, was just nonstop. And it was so bad, I went to work Monday morning, and my right eye was completely bloodshot, just from staring at the TV playing so much Hitman. So the game's become a problem for me.
As long as you don't shave your head, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, again.
Oh, yeah, I did. Skylar here is saying in the chat, so I did some of this stuff when she and my in-laws were over. And so they were watching me do it, kill everyone in a map in Hitman. And I guess I was at the point where I had like 3 screwdrivers, and so I'd walk into a room and there'd be 3 people, and I'd just chuck, throw screwdrivers at everyone's head. And I tried to kill as many people with screwdrivers as I could, because it's a clean way to kill people, because you can take it out and it's silent. Hitman 3 rules. I'm not going to talk about it anymore, or I won't stop.
Okay.
All right.
I would still like to try the VR at some point.
Yes, Charlie, please come over and borrow my copy of it, and I want you to play Hitman 3 in VR. Take this game away from me.
Okay. I mean, I say that, but I still have like 10 other games I'm playing, so
Yeah.
I don't know when I'd do that.
Yeah, I got to beat Lost Judgment still. That game, I fell out on that game.
Bummer.
Yeah.
You know
guys
what
playing
game
anything else?
I haven't?
Oh, here we go.
I was trying to segue.
Damn.
It's okay. It's how I expected this to happen. I've been playing another game. I bet you'll never guess because you probably haven't even heard of it. Came out over the summer, I think. It's probably only on Steam. Called Opus Echo of Star Song.
Oh, yeah, I know
There you
this. Yeah.
You do?
No.
That, I mean, you never know. You never know. You guys like FTL?
I like the idea of FTL. I don't
See,
like
then
the
you might
stress of it.
then you might like this game because this is like a very easy mode FTL.
Okay, what's it called again? Magnum Opus?
No. Opus Echo of Star Song. It's like, so you've kind of got like I think it was Mass Effect 2 where you have like your galaxy overview with your ship that you move around and you're spending your gas energy resources to go to different planets. Maybe that was 1. I don't remember. But you're basically in this star cluster system that's got this whole backdrop of an just finished old war, and there's a religion around these lumen crystals that develop the energy resources that are powering your ship and everything. And it's kind of like an FTL where you go into different planets and you can end up in of random events of like there'll be a ship that comes up to you and be
Valorant,
like,
League of Legends,
hey,
Rocket League,
we need
and
some
more,
help.
which can be found on
We're
their site.
stranded here. Can you
Pretty
give us some
simple.
supplies?
All you gotta do is go over to
Or
your challenges and do whatever challenges
can you open
want
up
to
your
do, and
comms
you'll earn
channel?
boss
Our
points.
Hold on,
antenna
one
was
second.
broken.
Anything in the market.
One
You
second.
can get
I was trying to be
whatever-
clever and pull a link in here, and it all went to hell. So start again.
Oh no. Start again?
No, just what you're talking about, how the game was. I was trying to pull the video source in here. I'm not expert enough to do it, and then it started playing an ad. Guy was talking about League of Legends.
I mean, you shouldn't have to do that because my commentary is just so descriptive.
Okay.
You know, being someone who's listened to a bunch of audio only gimmicks recently, this should be good enough, right? Yeah, it's like an FTL. You got random events that you're going between planets that'll affect your ship's armor or health, or like maybe you'll have to give some currency away to someone to help them fund a project, or you'll be able to hand over an item you found earlier on that unlocks something else. There is an upgrade tree for expanding that in terms of your signal reach for how far you can travel and your armor level and that sort of stuff, and like how much you can sell items for when you get the planets. When you get to planets, or really most of it's like caves and asteroids, because you're like it's kind of like an alien setup. You're like a far off outsider who's trying to find asteroid caves that have a bunch of crystal energy in them to get the mining rights and give them back to your clan. So you go down up to those, and then it becomes like almost quasi 3D, and you're doing some light puzzle elements, and you can find items that'll affect that other FTL stuff that I was talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
There's choice systems, and kind of a lot of it's a visual novel, I will say. It's a lot of reading, so you got to be in the mood for reading. But it's just a really well done world and story and characters. Like, it's a really interesting game. I don't know if there's a bunch of things like FTL out there, but I had never really got far in FTL because it was too hard. And this is like dirt easy. You can technically die if you're really dumb, but that's really hard to do.
Well, watch me.
Okay. I mean, I've definitely died, but it's not like a roguelite, so it's just you just reset at the last save.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just a really cool game.
Yeah, I like the art style. Yeah, it looks very anime, but something different about it.
It is very
Yeah.
anime.
Yeah.
I will say, if you like, I mean, hey, if you like Naruto, if you like sad character backstories,
Okay.
this
Yeah.
is a game. Yeah.
Yeah, it does look pretty interesting. Did you beat it?
I don't know.
Still plugging
There's
away.
like seven. There's like 7 major chapters, and I'm 5th of the way through. I guess 5 in, I should say.
Yeah, it looks cool.
I would recommend it so far.
Anything else you guys want to touch on this episode?
Did I ever talk about Inscription on this podcast?
That you'd been playing it, yeah.
No. Well, I
Did you
beat
beat
it. That is another game you should play.
Can you
It's a very
describe
good
it
game.
without spoiling it? I know the answer to this question, by the way.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
not.
I don't think I can.
Not.
It is okay. So Kenny, as I imagine, you're not someone who's really interested in virtual card deck building games. Is that true?
One could say that, yeah. Yeah.
You like deck building games.
Well, that's why one could say that.
Yeah. So I would say I'm not particularly interested in that, but this game did a very good job of having like simple enough but complex enough mechanics to keep you interested. It's like not like hundreds of cards that you won't know what's going on, but there is enough to keep you interested and enough systems. It's like a simplified Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic, I guess. But there's just so many twists and turns. It's not like Pony Island, which I'm kind of glad, because that game just had complete genre shifts and frankly was not really well made in doing it. But this stays mostly a card game the whole time, but it does a good job of surprising you along the way. Very much worth it.
Cool. Now, Charlie, you're still doing your Sunday streams? Are you keeping that up?
I guess so.
Now that I put you
We'll
on the
see.
spot about it. What are you planning on streaming tonight? For anyone watching live. Hundreds of viewers.
I don't want to promise it because I still don't know for sure if it's going to work out, but I'm probably going to try that live mixed reality setup in a couple of games.
Oh, cool. So you're talking about the thing where you have a camera pointed at you and then it like puts you in the game.
No, just going to use an avatar.
Oh, okay.
I don't have a green screen to do that.
Not yet.
I don't have the space to set up a green screen like that.
Now, who needs furniture? Come on.
I mean, when you're virtually living, I guess so.
Yeah.
You could just
need a virtual
sleep on the
chair.
ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just cocoon yourself in the green screen. You don't need a bed.
Yeah, I think Billy's got a roll-up bed you could borrow. Just, use that.
Just put your mattress on the floor. Push it up against the wall when you're done with it.
Yeah.
Only there needs to be a game where you can like real time go to sleep in it. And, like there's a real time clock and you just wake up and
Isn't that
there's
what
actual
Pokemon-
sun.
Yeah, isn't that what Pokemon's doing?
In VR?
That Pokemon sleep
Mm.
thing? Not VR, but got to gamify
Well,
sleep, guys.
Sure.
When we say gamers rise up, we mean getting out of bed.
Is that what we mean?
That's
I didn't know that.
That's what I mean. I don't know what other people are. Yeah, that's them. Well, on that note, I think this ends our special Thanksgiving edition. Canadian Thanksgiving, we'll have to wait. We'll catch that next year once we figure out what it is and when it is. Episode of the Mashcast. Thank you for joining. Hope you have a wonderful holiday if this is a holiday in your region. If you work Black Friday, Godspeed. If you shop on Black Friday in person, I swear to God, if I hear word that you were a dick to someone at Target or Walmart or anywhere else, man, we're coming for you in Minecraft, okay? You better watch out. In Minecraft.
Only Minecraft, though.
Only in Minecraft.
But
We're
in
coming
Minecraft.
for you in Minecraft. Thanks for joining us.
Goodbye.